In
5.
5.
Welcome to the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast, the show about life on the street as a beat cop and life in the shop as a woodworker. They pull no punches and tell it like it is, so buckle in and get ready. Now, here are your hosts from Marrazzo Woodworking, Mike Marrazzo, and from Full House Woodworking, Brandon Silveira.
God,
Hey,
is that you?
it's God. Sounds like God. Like Morgan Freeman type of vocal there.
It doesn't sound like Morgan Freeman at all.
Well, that doesn't sound like him, but it's the baritone sound of God speaking. I'm going to hear him say on the 7th at 7, and then I'll be able to compare the two.
Okay, Bruce.
There's something satisfying about mopping a floor. It really is. I love that scene when you're just mopping.
I disagree.
You don't like that?
I disagree with there's something satisfying about mopping a floor. There's not.
Sure there is.
Nope.
You've achieved a task. You've cleaned something and left it in a pristine condition from manual labor. That's satisfying. No?
I agree that manual labor can be satisfying.
Just not mopping a floor.
I disagree that mopping can be satisfying.
It's actually an art.
Mopping is nothing but aggravation.
Not everybody can mop correctly.
True. But then once you're done mopping, you have to then have anxiety until
So
the
no
floor
one walks
dry.
on your floor. Oh, yeah.
And that sounds awful.
The people that clean our police department, this Hispanic lady, when I would come in for night shift, it's always like at 6 o'clock, and shift starts at 7, but she's always there like at 6:10. And then she starts mopping everything. And I got to walk in, and then everyone's coming in for shift change. So everyone's got shit on their boots. It's like the worst time that you can mop the floor.
Yep.
Is at shift change. And I always feel bad stepping on the hard work she just did. She's like, it's okay, baby. Just do. And I'm like, okay. So I'm really sorry. No, it's okay.
It's job security for her.
Yeah, I guess so. But she's not going to mop it again until the next day. So
Eh,
still job security.
it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Welcome to episode 61 of the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast. I'm Mike Marrazzo. That's Brandon Silveira.
The Roger Maris episode?
It is the Roger Maris episode. I didn't think we'd make it.
A lot of people didn't.
We're going to blow right past it, just like Barry Bonds did. And Big Mac. And Sammy Sosa.
And now Aaron Judge.
Judge. Yeah, he did. Well, he snuck past it.
Yeah,
Blowing past
I'll give him.
You give him a blow past?
Did you see how far number 62 went?
No,
I'd say he blew past it.
Okay.
It wasn't a wall scraper.
It doesn't. They're all bombs in the record book, right?
They all count as one.
Right. So even the bleeder that sneaks through worm burner for a hit, line drive in the box score.
Number 73 was a wall scraper, though.
By Bonds?
Yeah, he was off balance and just manhandled it just over onto the arcade.
Just enough steroids in his body to get it over the wall.
Show me the failed test. And you're telling me that Frank Thomas was all just eugenics?
Frank Thomas has never been accused of taking steroids ever.
Look at the man.
I do look at it. I've looked at him very closely. As a season ticket holder, I looked at him a lot.
That's weird to say.
He's a big man. Yeah.
It's weird to phrase it that way.
Yeah, I take that back. I never looked at Frank Thomas. And
you want to do that over again?
Yeah, can we?
Okay. Let me set you back. Just look at him.
He's a big man.
Yes, he's a large human.
He is a large human. I think he still needs to do more work.
Wasn't when he was a rookie.
He was huge as a rookie.
Oh, I'm sorry, when he got drafted. I have his draft day card.
He was a big guy. Played tight end at Auburn. That's how big of a guy he was. Yeah. He's an Auburn Tiger, friends with Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I know who Bo Jackson
is.
Okay. Everybody knows Bo.
As a matter of fact, my buddy Frank,
and
the mayor
Bo knows.
of a city over here.
Oh God, here we go.
No, my buddy Frank, who's a detective at my department's also a mayor of a city that's just west of us.
Okay.
Our police department. Anyways, Bo just opened one of his domes, a Bo Dome, in that city.
What's a Bo Dome?
So, hold on. A few years, well, holy shit, maybe 20 years ago, Bo opened.
Nope. What's a Bo Dome?
A Bo Dome.
I don't need the history of the company.
It's an indoor field facility. So it's got football fields and baseball fields indoor under a bubble.
Okay. So it's an indoor athletic field facility.
Yeah, blown up with air.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's not like a brick and mortar thing. There is a brick and mortar part for the offices, but then the actual field part is all under this air dome thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty neat. So when
I
was
kind of like the Metrodome.
Yeah, on a smaller scale, right? So when I was in detectives a few months ago, Frank's like, "Hey, let's go to the dome." All right. So drove over there, took a tour, got to meet some of the minor league baseball players that were working out. Jim Tomei has classes there. So anyways, Frank had Bo Jackson at a Super Bowl party because they're friends. That's where I was going with this. So even Frank knows Bo. Bo knows everybody, even my buddy Frank. So I don't know him. I didn't get to meet him yet, but one day. You know, he actually makes bows and arrows. He's he's an archer too, not just a world-class baseball and football player.
Just let me know when you're done.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. And we're back. And today's episode is brought to you by SurfPrepSanding.com.
I think it's just SurfPrep Sanding.
Their website.
But they're not. That's not the company name. The company name is SurfPrep Sanding, or SurfPrep. Right. Look.
Okay, let's play this out, Mike. Let's
do it.
Today's episode is brought to you by SurfPrep. Oh wow, I'd really like to use that promo code BOOK'em to get 10% off. Where should I go? How should I'm gonna? You know what? I'm gonna have to go to Google. Let me type in SurfPrep into. Nope, shut up. I have to type SurfPrep into Google. Okay, here. And I got all this stuff here. And what's the SurfPrep Sanding? Okay. So boy, it would have been a lot easier if they just said to go to SurfPrepSanding.com.
That you can do.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I miss you. Did you know that our show is the #1 rated woodworking law enforcement podcast in Indonesia?
We're in Indonesia? Okay, this is starting to get concerning because we're in a lot of places that have a lot of questionable practices.
Apparently they have internet.
We were in Russia for a while.
Yeah, we still are.
Number
Moscow.
one in Russia.
In Moscow.
No matter how much shit I talk about Russia.
They're still downloading us.
They still love us.
Putin.
And then what? Where else were we? Like somewhere in Africa?
Yeah.
But not like at a good part either.
Well, we also are in South Africa, yes.
Oh, in South Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problematic things there too.
And
I think that country's actually on the verge of collapse, isn't it?
Jeez, I hope not.
No, really. I think like I think it's South Africa. Like their economy's fucked.
Really?
Yeah. God damn it! I gotta try again next week.
I haven't heard that. Oh, you just ruined it.
I dropped an F-bomb.
Dropped an F-bomb.
I'm sorry. And then now in Indonesia, which
let's see. Oh, of course, Australia. And when you say South Africa, there's 2 or 3. We were in Lagos, is where I said last time in South Africa, right? Okay. But now in South Africa, we are in, because I'm looking at it right now live on our feed. So, like I said, I thought Cape Town. How is this? In the middle. Oh, there's a city named Kimberley in South Africa.
Oh,
how odd is that? Yeah, isn't that cool? And we're just outside of Kimberley in South Africa.
So there's at least one person listening there.
Right?
Or downloading.
Right, downloading. I'm sure they don't download and not listen.
I mean, people are weird.
And Johannesburg, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, who could forget about Johannesburg?
So a shout out to those in Kimberley, Johannesburg, and that other one I said earlier. There you go.
Cape Town?
No, I just said it a minute ago. It's north. No, in Africa.
Lagos?
Yeah, Lagos.
You're being very vague.
I think look, what's this? This is India. We're in India. We're in Mumbai. How about that?
Why?
Don't ask questions.
What? Okay, so hold on.
Number one woodworking and
if
law
you're-
enforcement podcast in Mumbai.
God bless
I'm
it.
claiming it because there ain't no other one like ours.
That's fine. Well, I mean, you could also say in America, because I'm pretty sure we're the only woodworking law enforcement podcast, period. Our competition does not exist.
I don't know. There's got to be other cops that do woodworking that have a podcast.
I doubt it.
Really?
So anyways,
Yeah.
if you're in any of these other countries like Lagos or, if you're in Mumbai, could you just email us at handcuffs&sawdustpodcast@gmail.com and just tell us why?
Yeah, awesome. We'd like to hear it.
How'd you find us? Why?
And translate it into English, though, so we can read it.
I mean, we could plug it into Google Translate.
No, that's true. I was hoping
I'm so confused. Like our Russian friend, what was it, Boris,
in Moscow.
in Moscow. Could
He's
you
still there.
Why? With all? Well, maybe. Who knows? Maybe Putin sent him to the front lines, and maybe he's already dead in Ukraine. Who knows?
There's a province in China that we are downloaded in, but it's just characters without a name. I don't know what the name is. It's just a bunch of characters. The whole map is all those Chinese characters. So
Well, it's because it's written in their language.
I know, but on a map, for me, I don't understand why it's.
I don't know.
So
I don't know. Ask the CCP.
Speaking of words, when I was editing last week's podcast, which will come out, tomorrow.
And promo code BOOK'em gets you 10% off at SurfPrep
That's right.
Sanding.
You mentioned that already.
Very sorry, Hannah. Mike, this was going to be a great
You
ad,
said it.
and then Mike screwed it up. Blame him.
It's my fault. I'll wear it.
I'm going to
Just
start
as-
working on your empty tombs today.
Just as good as I'm wearing this hat.
You know what? I've already said once, so screw it. Fuck off.
Blame your atmospheric river for not having your hat.
I'm not going to blame the weather because then I'd have to blame God, and I don't want to go to hell. I'm already on thin ice as it is.
So getting back to last week's episode while I was editing it, which comes out tomorrow.
Let's get to last week's episode today.
Well, I was excited. I posted a picture that I had found on the editing software that I use, a speech to text option. You can just push closed captions and it transcribes your entire video.
Wait, what were you doing before?
What do you mean?
Because you've talked about adding closed captions.
I did on my personal YouTube videos. I tried it before.
Okay.
Where I used my phone to record, because the Samsung does text to speech to text as well. So when I tried to do it with a personal video on my YouTube channel, not the podcast one, I played this music, or I played the episode, or maybe it was ours. I recorded it on here. It transcribed it, and then I uploaded it to the video. You can do that. But this software I have will do it for you. Here's the drawback. So I was all excited. I posted a picture. We're going to have closed captions on our videos. That pre-show was like 26 minutes long, right? So as I'm playing it back with the closed captions, I'm reading the words. They're like 80% accurate, which means you have to edit the other 20% manually, where you stop the video.
Sounds like we're not going to have closed captioning.
No, because it took me an hour to get 8 minutes of video done.
Yeah, no.
And it was 25 minutes long. And I'm like, sorry, deaf people. I know you can't hear this. You can't hear me apologizing, but we're not going to have closed captions.
Well, if they can read lips, they can.
Yeah, as long as we're not doing this.
Yeah, we just hide behind the mic. And then it's problematic.
Yeah.
And we're doing it on purpose to be jerks to deaf people.
And that's not our.
And I actually have a story this week for when we get to law enforcement side about dealing with a deaf person.
Oh, I love dealing with deaf people.
Who was an asshole.
At work. Okay, great. Well, how about we usually do the shop stuff first. So what do you got going on in the shop?
I have lots going on that I haven't been able to get to because of the stupid
tsunami.
Weather. No, we don't have to worry about tsunamis yet. No earthquake out in the ocean.
Okay.
So I also have a crapload of training next week.
At work?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have 4 different trainings that I have to go to in the span of 3 days.
Nice.
that I didn't schedule. Somebody
Not
else
good for shop
scheduled.
time though.
No. Only one is on an off day, but it's like a full day thing where I'm going to be out of town.
Okay.
But I have to finish a retirement gift for an Air Force pararescueman, and I have to finish that this week.
Awesome.
So that's going to be fun. Excuse me. And then I got the walnut from our friends at Forest to Home to make the empty tombs for Hannah. So I have to get those done because I had hoped that I would receive that stuff and then be able to get it done like in time for them to get it by the time they got back from Workbench Con.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. So
just get it done by Easter. I think that, or like the week before Easter, which is when.
Well, I don't know.
I think
I'm try to get it done just quickly. Yeah, you look that up while I ramble about nothing.
Well, you're talking Easter.
So I got to get that done, and then I committed to building a flag for our Little League's silent auction.
Okay.
So I got to build that, and that has to be done by next Saturday.
Wow, you got a lot of stuff on your plate, dude.
Yeah, and then a friend hit me up about trying to do a cutting board. I said, sure.
I don't know how to say no.
But I don't think there's a deadline on that one.
No, that's good.
That's the furthest thing from my mind. And I'm probably forgetting something, but I don't care. But I did send out the other empty tombs, and one of my favorite things is like the reviews you get on Etsy.
Yeah.
Because even the negative ones are usually funny, of like, you're an idiot.
I never got one of those.
I have yet to get a bad review, but just listening to people read bad reviews or looking at bad reviews, I look at the person leaving and I go, you're stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Dumb. Because usually it's like someone's got a gripe about they bought a digital file and they thought it was an actual physical product. I'm like, do you really think they were going to send you a physical product for 99 cents?
99 cents? Yeah. Who buys a digital file and doesn't know what the hell it is?
People are stupid. They don't read the full thing. They just think they got a screaming good deal.
What do we call stupid people, Brandon?
Stupid.
And?
Call it stupid.
Job security.
And job security, yeah. So, but I got a really nice review for this lady that I did the custom stain for. That she was really happy, and she claims in her review she's going to buy more. So
awesome.
So we shall see.
I have to start making empty tunes for next Easter, not this Easter.
You could make a bunch right now, like today, and it wouldn't take you much time.
Really?
The thing that takes the longest is waiting for the stain to dry.
Yeah, finishing. If you're using an oil base, do you use oil based?
No, I use I use weather wash, which is all water based. So I had won a giveaway like a couple years ago, and I got these 2 weather wash stains, like a quart, and they're water based, and it just brushes on real easy, and you got to do like 3 or 4 coats of it though to really get a dark color on it.
Okay.
Otherwise, it just is real light, but it makes it look kind of distressed.
All right, cool.
So one of them looked like when I first put it on, I'm like, this looks like beechwood after it dried. So, and the other one is, it's called, I have rusted and oaked. I don't know what that means. Oaked. With the ED at the end. And I like them. They're great for the empty tombs, but then this lady wanted something a little bit more brownish to match another piece that she had on her mantle.
Yeah.
So she had messaged me a year ago.
Just to get the ball started a year ago?
Yeah. She was like, do you think you can match? Yeah, I could totally match that. Just let me know. And then radio silence for like a year. Wow. And then I got another message going, hey, I don't know if you remember, if you can pull up the messages. Da-da-da-da. I don't think she realized that it just added to the bottom of
the next one.
The previous conversation was. I was like, yeah, I actually still have the picture. It's like, yeah, that's still something we can do. Just, when you order it, type custom in the notes to seller so I know it's yours and I can, start that process. So
you got a lot of stuff going on.
I do. A lot of the stuff for the for the retirement plaque. This thing is like the size of a flag. It's like 3 feet by 20, so close to the same size.
Wow. Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that's going on it is going to get cut out on the laser. And I was just looking at one of the pieces, and there are a lot of small pieces that I have to put back in a very specific order.
So are you going to make a template with cardboard, or is that how that works?
So I can, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the leftover piece that it got cut out of, and then just do.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
that's a template, right?
Yeah. So I'll have to cut that down just so I can fit it on there, and then start putting all of these pieces together.
Awesome.
So that'll be what I do today.
Okay.
And then going to help prep baseball fields for the next round of rain.
You're gonna be pretty busy.
Yeah. Oh, and I have to coach. I'm being called in to coach a game because my son's manager is going to be out of town for now 2 games. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard if he's going to be back for the game on Sunday, because we had to cancel all our games.
Okay.
Right? Thursday through Saturday. 2 of which were my son's. So one of them just got rescheduled for the 19th. Well, he already had a game the 18th. And his coach is going to be out of town for that game. Or his two main coaches are going to be gone. So they called me and go, hey, would you mind coaching this game for us?
Cool.
I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll take the day off of work.
If I can get, you have manpower. You don't have that issue. Yeah.
Feeling fluish.
You're not looking very good. You might need a day off.
I'm feeling pale. I'm gonna try to tough out this week and just,
Yeah, see if you can fight through it.
Yeah. End of the week, though, it's going to probably take a lot out of me.
Good luck. I hope everything comes out okay for you.
Yeah. But I'm assuming that because he's not going to be here the 18th, he's not going to be here the 19th to coach the other game.
That's a good assumption.
Which sucks, because now I was just going to manage the Saturday game and just be like, screw it. Go for it, boys. But now I have to consider the pitching situation because of pitch counts.
Yeah. Well, you should have been doing that anyways, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have limits per game, right?
Right.
But screw it. Let the kids go until they reach the limit, and then that's his problem to deal with on the next game.
That's funny. Except
as far as who needs rest,
problem.
except now it's my problem.
Yeah.
So now, and I don't know these kids very well. So today I'm going to very closely be watching them at practice. Like, all right, who are my pitchers?
Yeah. You just go, who throws on this team? Did he tell you anything where people play or who pitches? Nothing?
They haven't had a game yet. Everything's been
but in practice though, right?
Well, they just started like having kids pitch. And I'm starting to think the more that I watch stuff this year, I'm going to have to manage a team next year. And I'm going to do nothing but draft kids that have dads that are cops.
Oh, there you go. They might not be very good, but at least you'll have cop dads.
Well, that's what I was telling my buddy. Because he has 2 boys that play in the league, and I've got my son, and all our sons are all friends, and our wives are friends. So we're sitting there talking. I go, look, dude, I'm going to probably manage next year. I'm only drafting cop kids. Because between us, we will, he finished my sentence where he goes, we'll form one person.
Yeah. Right.
One person's availability.
That's right.
I go, yes, exactly. So
good.
Let's do that.
I don't think I had another cops kid on when I was coaching my daughter.
Well, that's the thing is there's a ton of cops that live in the town I live in. So it's kind of nice. Like,
yeah. And you have like 500 kids coming out for baseball. We didn't have that.
We have 500, I think 550, I think we're at like 562, 46 teams.
Wow. All the levels combined.
Yes.
Equal 46.
From T-ball to our majors division, which is the oldest kids are 12.
Okay. That's what we call Pony League out here.
Well, the next step up would be a 50-70 league. So 50-foot pitching mound, 70-foot bases. And we're debating whether or not we want to add that or if we want to try to absorb the local Babe Ruth League.
Yeah.
Because homeschooling is becoming it's a growing thing in this town. So a lot of these kids aren't going to have middle school programs to play at.
Wow.
So if we could tap into that,
Yeah.
I would 100% coach. And the great thing about homeschool kids, you can have practice anytime.
Right.
Because they all go to like the same co-ops. Like, cool, PE is going to be baseball practice.
Right.
Get your shit and get to the field.
Nice.
3-hour practices.
Oh boy. These poor kids.
They're going to be great. And then they're going to go to high school.
Boy.
And then if they go back to public school for high school, which is the common theme, is that they're going to every mom I've talked to that does homeschooling. Yeah, I think I'm going to send them back in high school.
Because mom wants a break.
Yeah.
She wants a job. She wants a break from teaching.
So these kids will be all set up for high school.
Giddy up.
It's just our plan here in this small town for world domination. We'll have like maybe 3 kids actually playing college.
And then maybe one gets drafted.
I doubt it.
Never know.
We actually have a couple of kids that are playing college ball now. One of them's playing for Brown.
Wow.
He's in the Ivy League.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
What's their team color?
I think it's brown.
Is it too much to ask? It would be
purple.
Brown. They're not the Browns.
They actually had a picture of him, so I'm going to have to go back and look at it a little bit closer.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So how's the drawer building going?
Not great. Now that you asked me, I came down, I don't even know what day it is right now. It's Monday. So Thursday I was in the shop and I was going to start edge banding because last week I made all the drawers. So all that's left to do is edge band all the drawer fronts and sides before I piece everything together. Well, actually, edge band everything, paint everything, dado the panels for the shelf that's going to be put in between, all that stuff. So we had range at work, so I had to clean my gun, the new gun, and I had to move some boxes underneath my shelf to where my range kit is. And one of those boxes was the slides that I'm going to be using for this build. They're undermount slides, which I've never used. So I opened the box, I put it on the work table, and I'm reading the instructions. Now, why I wouldn't do this before I cut all the wood, I don't know. So I'm looking at the instructions, and these mounts mount under the drawer, hence the name. Well, I have a piece of wood here from the drawer. This is a drawer side, right?
Okay.
Got my nice dado in there. Got a nice 1/8 inch reveal underneath the drawer that will be in there. Problem is this part, which is the reveal from the bottom of the drawer to the bottom of the drawer side, has to be at least a minimum of 1/2 inch for the drawer slide actually mechanism to fit under. So
a half is more than an eighth.
Yeah, it's like twice as much.
Well,
it's like 4 times as much.
4 times as much.
4 times as much. So now this is firewood. I'll cut it into some good scraps.
Do you have a piece of scrap wood that could make up the difference of the 1/2 inch that you could glue onto the bottom of that?
No, because I have to. I know what you're saying, but this is just a 1/2 inch thick. And even if I were to use pocket holes to add a piece of wood at the bottom, I've got plywood left over. But now what a good thing is, actually, I need to make this taller, right? By that much, but still keep the drawer height the same from the top of the, the drawer bottom to the top of the shelf, drawer itself. So I got really disappointed and saddened on Thursday, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm done in the shop. I just went on to editing the podcast. So I got a bunch of firewood here, and I got to work on Friday. I told Vince, I'm like, all those drawers I made for you are going in the garbage. He's like, what's the matter? I told him the same story. He's like, oh, that sucks. I go, luckily we have plywood left. So I'll be doing that.
You could just make drawers for something else out of that and just use side mount.
I can keep these.
Yeah. You can still make some drawers, but you got to use side mount slides for it.
Right.
So you could use those
So-
around the shop for something.
Maybe. Although I need a piece of this too. I need a test piece for when I make, because I needed a test piece to make the dado and the depth and all that stuff. So I'll find some more and do that. So I might keep those for some drawers. That's a good idea. I didn't want to really waste it, but so that's where the pantry build's at. Today is my first day off over the weekend since last Thursday, and we're doing this. So I didn't want to start working in here before we did this because of all the dust that would be in the air, cutting all that new plywood. So I'm not really sure I'll get to it today, but hopefully in 3 weeks that thing's done. And then yesterday I ordered new podcast stickers because I'm out, and I gave a bunch of them out at the Workbench Con, and I'm using the square. They're not going to be round. They're going to be square like the logo that's on my truck, which actually says Handcuffs and Sawdust Podcast. Because I was just giving out Handcuffs and Sawdust stickers, and people like, what's that? Oh, it's a podcast. Oh, well, now it'll actually say podcast on it. So I'll send you some when they come in, and you can pass them out. And I tried your sticker place. Sierra Stickers.
Sticker?
Wasn't as cheap as Mule.
Really?
Sticker Mule, yeah. It's like a $27 difference.
Really? Because it was cheaper for me.
That's good. I wasn't, and I also checked Sticker Beat for me, and Sticker Mule was the cheapest for me.
Maybe shipping.
It could be, because you have to put in your zip code.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. I also ordered new Marrazzo woodworking stickers with a different color now because I'm almost out. So I went with like a shiny silver logo. It's got like a beam of light shining off of it instead of the blue. I ordered a hat, a Marrazzo woodworking hat from, like, the last one I got from the Midnight Handyman was from Leather and Bremen Leather or some place I found on Instagram, and I didn't really like them too well.
Organic Craft.
That's where I just ordered my hat from now.
Dude is awesome.
Yeah, Mike. So I sent him a mock-up, and then he sent me, like, right away, he sent me what kind of shape do you want the leather patch to be. He's got the, like, kind of an oval one, but it's, I just went with round. Yeah. I think I ordered black because I like the black hat. But I think they're rather inexpensive.
He's got great prices, and he's super fast.
Yeah. So I think I'm actually going to get a gray one as well with the leather. And then maybe I'll look at different colors. But so I got that's coming. And then while I was at Workbench Con, John Erickson and I teamed up for Maker Collab. So this week we're thinking what we're going to do. It's TV show themed. And Luke in the garage and Dave from DIY 3D Dave, they're doing something Star Wars related from The Mandalorian. Hopefully not, whatever they're doing, it's going to be crazy. So we're trying to think of something that we could do from television. And we chose Adam West Batman because it's Batman, So we spent a week trying to figure out what the hell we were going to do from the Bat Cave or Batarang or Batmobile or Bat Computer or utility belt made out of wood or whatever. And I'm like, we're going to film an intro announcing it where I'm in the, in the shop, just like from Batman Returns with Michael Keaton. He's in his study, and then the bat signal shows out the window. We're going to do all that stuff. And then it's like, let's not do Batman because that would be, it's too hard. I wanted to make something practical. So we're going to do, I can announce it now because this won't be heard for a week and a half. We're going to do a Cheers theme, and that's going to be the Cheers sign. I'm going to show you a picture, but it's going to be a cabinet. So we're going to make the Cheers sign, the bar sign that hangs outside the bar. We're going to make it an actual bar cabinet where the sign opens up or the door opens up. So we're going to do, basically this. Mm-hmm. But it'll be like a double cabinet size. And you open it, it'll have mirrors, glass shelves, lighting inside there. We'll have backlight on it for the wall. I'm actually going to hang it up in his bar area in his house. So something that can be used. And I'm actually flying down there in April, for second week of April. and I'm gonna spend like 5 days there just working on the project and come back on Easter. So we now are filming or trying to film an announcement video for the team up. So I looked on YouTube for all the times when Norm comes in the bar. So I found a compilation of every time Norm comes in the bar. It's everyone, all of them. Norm, everyone yells, and then Coach asks him a question, or Sam. So John filmed his part walking down the stairs into his basement where his pool table is, and then more of the video, and then I got to film my part, and then I got to film with my phone, screen record, and let it run for 12 minutes while I record all of that footage from YouTube, and then crop it, and then pick out parts of Sam asking the questions or whatever, and I got to piece it all together. So I'll be doing that this week. And bought some Kiss tickets. Gonna go see Kiss. I think it's November, or August or September, somewhere in the fall.
They're all still alive?
They are all still alive, yet not all of them are original in the band. So it's Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons are the only two original members. And then it's Tom Thayer and Eric Singer. Eric Singer's the drummer, so he wears the Cat makeup, and Tom Thayer wears Ace Frehley's makeup. So they still look the same, but it's that'll be fun. That's pretty much all of my. Oh, and I had my buddy Brian, who retired as a detective. He called me, and we were talking about the detective rotation, and he had heard some good things of me working in there. And then I said, hey, he's in realty now. He's a realtor in Texas. So I said, hey, I got an idea. Since you're on the phone, let's team up, and I can make some stuff for your when you sell a house. And he goes, well, that's originally why I'm calling you, not just to talk about you being into detectives. And I go, oh shit, okay. He goes, what, do you have any ideas? And I said, yeah, man, we could do, cutting boards or welcome home signs or keychain signs with the family name, all that stuff. So he likes the idea of, I had him send me a picture of his house, his listing picture when he bought his house. And now I have to get the laser turned on because I talked him into laser engraving the listing photo and then adding the family name and year on a piece of wood. And I said, frame it like a picture, and he wants to see it framed and not framed. But he really likes that idea. So now I actually technically have to start the laser and do that. So I asked Marty.
Well, it's about damn time.
I know. It's only been 18 months. I was hoping Marty from Red Lake would come over and show me how to do all that stuff. But
Step 1, plug it in.
Plug it in.
Step 2, hook it up to your computer.
Right. I already got Lightburn on this computer.
Cool. You've already completed 90% of the steps.
Awesome. How do you dial it in with the height?
Well, I don't know about your laser, but did it come with some sort of focal point gauge? So like here's the thing with mine. I'm
gonna say no.
Okay, so here's the thing with mine.
Yeah. On
the laser module, there's a little kickstand that flips down.
Oh, okay.
I then adjust the Z height, so the distance away, until that kickstand is touching the piece that I'm going to engrave. And I lock it in, and I flip the kickstand up.
Look at
you. In my old laser, I had to actually. Oh, Mike's wandering. Hold on.
Oh, I'm right here. I'm just looking at the laser.
So in my old one, that I got from Dave Miller, there's actually like a piece that comes with it that you set that piece on top of whatever you're engraving and then drop it down on there, lock it in.
Oh.
So
David Franklin can answer this question for me because I bought it from him.
Yeah, so he should be able to help you out.
Shoot me a text.
Well, he's not going to get this for like a week, right?
Yeah, he's in school.
Well, I mean, he's not going to get this for a week because it's not going to come out for a week, Mike.
Yeah, right.
So send him a message.
Yeah, I will.
Or look through the shit that he sent you.
It wasn't a lot. So, yeah, okay, cool.
And look at the laser module, see if there's any little doodads that...
Yeah, I will check and see if there's a kickdown. I don't believe there is because I move it every time I work my CNC. I have to take it off there. So I don't remember seeing something like that. But that's cool. Okay, so that's basically roughly how you do it.
Yeah. And then you'll select your laser in Lightburn. And then you got to get your speed settings all figured out.
Yeah, that's the issue. Right.
But Lightburn has this really cool feature now to where you can do a material test. So you take something that is the same material as what you're going to engrave.
Yeah.
Put that on your laser. Click that, and then you can choose the range for the speed.
Okay.
And the power. and it's like 10 by 10, and it'll go through, do it all, and then you can look at it and go, I like the way this one works.
Oh, okay.
And then use those speeds and fees.
So I probably need a couple
you can
hours.
Or you can go to Louisiana Hobby Guy.
Yeah.
His forum page, sign up to be a member of it. It's totally free. And he has like an entire library for a bunch of different diode or bunch of different lasers, period, that you can download and load that into Lightburn and then just click the material.
Okay.
And then choose the engraving, like if you want it light, medium, or dark, and then assign it and then let her rip.
Because it will do shadows and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because
so you can engrave pictures.
The pictures turn out fantastic from what I understand.
If you can figure out settings. So like I'll send you a picture of a picture. I did a picture of a picture.
Excellent.
Of one I did that I don't know how I got it to turn out this good, but it turned out really nice. So there's a ton of different things that you can do with this laser that'll help you out.
All right, I'm looking forward to that team up with my buddy Brian, because if he likes that, I can already cut a bunch of that stock and have it ready on a shelf. Next time he sends me a picture of a house, I can burn it right away. The turnaround time should be rather quick, instead of trying to make custom cutting boards for all of them. Also with the keychains. Yeah, I remember that picture, Brandon. That's one of my. I think you froze. Move for me. There you go. You were like frozen.
Zoned out for a minute.
Yeah. So that's on what type of material?
That's on like just basswood, like just craftwood that you can find.
Okay. Yeah, that's a crazy picture, dude.
I would have loved to have been able to share that, but I totally get why the family was not wanting to do that.
Yeah. I remember when you did that.
This is one of the better pieces I've ever done.
It is fantastic. You have to make a test one similar, but not use that picture so you can post it and sell it. And you won't offend anybody. So, do you have laser engravings on your Etsy page for sale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have all kinds of like laserable stuff. Like I have tumblers on there. The weird thing is, like, I thought tumblers were going to be a huge hit. Nothing.
There's so many people that do them that might have already cornered the market.
Well, and I think the issue with mine is mine are custom. So you got to tell me what you want on it.
Right.
Versus stuff that I have stock. So like I have like 5 of these cups left that are 30 ounces that I did one for Annie. It just says mom on it, but the O is a baseball.
Nice.
So I think I'm going to list that.
Take a picture
as
of
its
it and
own listing. Especially with baseball season and softball season rolling up.
Right. Cool.
So that's pretty much all I got going on.
That covers, my shop time. If you want to get into the nitty gritty of the law enforcement world.
The nitty gritty down and dirty.
Yeah, you said you didn't have much going on, which is good. In the last 2 weeks since we.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think.
Because last week was just workbench count. We didn't talk about any law enforcement stuff.
Yeah, I didn't have anything all that interesting, but I did have to deal with a deaf person. And when you mentioned deafness,
yes,
that brought it to mind. So it's a homeless guy who decided to cross a major street in the rain at night, and then thought he'd try to headbutt a panel van traveling 30 miles an hour at him.
How'd that turn out?
The van won.
As it will most of the time.
By knockout.
Wow. Knocked him out.
So he had a big ass gash on the side of his head. He lived. He
didn't hear the van coming. Apparently his vision's
never heard
not good either.
But he's off to the side of the road. We're trying to like communicate with him. And one of the guys knows like how to sign letters. So he spells out hospital.
Okay.
Like points to him and then goes hospital. And he's like, no, I don't know. It's fine. I'm like, no, you have a big freaking cut on the side of your head. And he's like, "Yeah, huh?" And he's like touching it, like sticking his finger in there, poking his brain and shit.
Ow.
Like, stop. So I finally get one. I was like, take a picture of that and then show it to him. Shows it to him. He's like, it's fine. I'm like, dude.
It's just a minor flesh wound.
So I'm starting to write stuff down. Like, dude, you need to go to the hospital. You could die. And he's just like, you're being dramatic. So I wrote down, either get on the gurney or I will put you on the gurney. And he's like positive fist, like, you fight me? I'm like, yeah. I'll punch you right in the head.
On the other side, not the same
I'll,
side.
I'll punch your wound. I'm all
Punch
about
your-
winning the
wound punch. Wound punch.
So we eventually get him onto the gurney and then get him transported. He's like just screaming, like, and I don't know if any of you have ever heard like a deaf person try to speak.
Yeah, of course.
I
mean, you're asking the listeners, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's hilarious because they can't hear themselves. They can't control volume.
Yeah.
And forming words is hard because we get that instant feedback as we talk. But he got enough out to where fuck you.
Fuck you.
He's
He threatened
kicking
you.
it. Yes, he's kicking at people and shit. So they get him to the
Because
hospital.
he ain't got no money for that.
No, and that's what he was saying. It's like too much money. I'm like, no, dude, it's like the county's going to pay for it.
Oh, there you go.
Like you're not going to be able to pay for it. I don't care. I just don't want you to die on the side of the road. It's a lot of paperwork. I got to call people to come out here. It's going to kill my whole night.
Right.
Like, could you just not? So he goes to the hospital and he's still being an asshole to where he's like kicking, and eventually he gets to the point where the adrenaline starts to wear off.
Yeah.
They're like, do you have any pain? He goes, yeah, I can't. Like, and there we go. And then he starts thrashing around. So they're like, they gave him Dilaudid.
Oh, that's the only thing I'm allergic to.
So they gave him that and something called Versed to knock him the fuck
Mhm.
out. And then he went sleepy night.
Nice.
And then I look at the doctor. I go, just tell me he's not going to die, and I'll leave.
Yeah.
Because they ask if he's in custody. I go, no. I go, I'm just
Nope.
here to find out if he's going to live or die.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to live. I go, okay, cool. I'm going to leave now.
Who did the crash report? Was it yours?
The rookie. No, it's not.
Oh,
mine.
okay. All right.
So basically, the rookie, we have a certain list of reports that they have to complete and like be proficient at.
Yeah.
So basically, the first rotation of training is they are what we affectionately like to call paper bitch.
Yeah.
Like, come
That's
take
right.
this. Come here. Come take this.
Yeah.
So he had his first crazy person where he had to go hands-on with somebody. He got his first felony arrest.
Nice.
So he lost his tie on his first day driving the car.
Lost his tie.
Yes. So all of our recruits, you have to start out in your Class A's.
Wow.
Tie, everything.
Where's your gun?
It's still on him. You still have all your stuff. You just have your tie.
Oh, no jacket.
No.
Okay.
So for us, that we don't have a jacket for our Class A's.
Okay.
So it's just basically you throw on a tie.
All right.
Boom, Class A.
Nice.
So
and Class C.
Yes.
Get it?
And in order to lose the tie,
Yes.
you have to have different teams have different requirements. Our requirement is a self-initiated felony arrest,
Oh, all right.
which is getting increasingly difficult these days.
Yeah, because they keep changing the laws.
They keep decriminalizing things.
Right.
So he spotted two individuals sitting on a less than great road and in their little homeless camp, one of which was holding a meth pipe in his hand.
Oh, instant
And he
felony.
and he said, not on my watch. Well, no, that's a misdemeanor ticket. And
fucking California.
in our county, it gets
Yeah.
better. In our county, you have to have been cited for it
10 times, right?
3 times
Oh,
in a calendar year before the DA files, and they'll file all 3 cases.
okay.
So he does his investigation and finds pepper spray. Turns out one of these guys is a convicted felon.
What if he
Prohibited.
puts the pepper spray on his pizzas?
Doesn't matter.
No?
he is prohibited from owning pepper spray or possessing pepper spray or ammunition or firearms.
Right. Yeah.
And the other guy had a misdemeanor warrant. So he got 2 arrests on his very first stop.
Good for him.
And from what I understand, because his FTO is like my best friend, spotted it all on his own.
Nice.
So day 5 of being a cop, and he was like, "That's weird. I should stop that."
Very good.
So we're all giving a little attaboys and
give me that tie.
Yeah, and then snatch the tie off of him.
Yeah.
And then we all learned something because one of the guys is studying for sergeant, and so he was giving him a hard time. He goes, "Did you notify your supervisor of the felony arrest?" And we all looked at him and went, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, per the duty manual, you shall inform your supervisor of all felony arrests."
Really?
So we made him walk over to our boss after we asked the question, which I'm going to ask you later. And like, "Hey, you have a notification to make." And he's like, "Sarge, I made an arrest." He's like this tall, skinny, like kind of goofy looking, or not goofy looking. He's a good looking kid, but like he's fucking awkward sometimes.
Yeah.
Horrible report writer. He's like one of
course
these.
He is. Yeah. Well, don't be knocking those typers because that's me.
Well, my buddy was pissed because it took like 4 hours to write a
2 paragraphs
possession case. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna suck." Oh, breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders are closing in on a deal with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Staying in the Bay Area so he can haunt the 49ers.
You know Vegas is not in the Bay Area, right?
Oh, I forget. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they used to be in Oakland. Before that, they were in LA.
Yeah.
Right, they've gone back and forth like a bunch of times. I get it.
I can't keep track of that.
It's hard to keep track of that.
They're going to be in Alaska soon.
That'd be cool. Snow games.
You're right.
So, yeah, he's looking at me. He's, "Man, this kid's going to make me a lot of money."
Yeah, no kidding. All the overtime, wait for him to type reports. You just sit in a chair and watch.
Yeah.
Giddy up. Yeah, good.
So here is a question for you. It's a hypothetical.
Okay.
You have to pick one.
Okay.
Would you rather have sexual intercourse with Hulk Hogan, but he has a vagina, or Megan Fox, but she has a penis?
Why is this a question?
Don't ask. I'll ask the questions here.
Okay. I'm going at Megan Fox from behind. I won't even see the penis.
Okay.
Because there's another door there. I'll just use that one.
Okay. And
I'm holding her breasts.
And I won't change the circumstances like
No, that wasn't part of the question.
Weird. I know. That's what I said. You're changing the question now.
This was a question that came up in the car.
Outside of the car, our whole team, we had a very spirited debate.
Okay. What was the leader in the clubhouse?
It was pretty much split 50-50.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that would even be close.
Well, some people they were too hung up on. There's another winner.
Right.
There's another. I don't want to accidentally touch anything.
Yeah, I can see that, but Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
From the front?
And it's NWO Hulk Hogan, so Hollywood Hogan.
No, man.
From the early 2000s Wolfpack days.
No, there's still no boobs there.
That's what I said.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Send us your thoughts at
handcuffs&sawdustpodcast at gmail.com.
Please, someone send that survey question answer to us. I can read it in the next podcast. I almost said on the air. But yeah,
or you can record yourself.
Your answer.
Making your argument. That way nothing is taken out of context.
Right. We won't misrepresent your answer. Oh my God.
Because I can guarantee you if you type it up, it's going to probably get misrepresented.
Probably. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn now. All right. Those were the burning questions.
Okay.
Good. Us at work this week.
All right. I can't check the image.
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh yeah. No. Oh my God. All right. So my first day back, I've only been in patrol on day shift for 2 weeks now, right? I did two weeks of shifts. My very first day, we get a call at since we work right next to O'Hare, the kitchens that supply the planes are in our town. There's 2 major companies, Gate Gourmet and Flying Foods, and they're in our town. So we get a lot of calls over there because they don't have the greatest people that work for them. It might even make you think about eating the food that you're eating on a plane if you knew where it was coming from. But anyways,
most of the stuff I get is prepackaged.
It's cooked in these kitchens and packaged.
Well, it's like crackers.
Are they okay? Yeah, you're safe there.
Yeah,
those are safe.
I don't typically take flights long enough to be served a meal.
Okay. Well, those of you who are flying out of Chicago,
I don't fly classy airlines. I'm a Southwest kind of guy.
Okay, I love me some Southwest. So, anyways, we go there for the employee who's going to be fired because he pulled a no-show, no-call the day before, and we go there first time. And when we get there, my partner Jim he pulls up first, and I pull up second, and we go in and we do our thing, and then we leave. Because we told him, you have to leave. You got to get off the property. He's like, okay. So he goes, I got a ride coming. I'll wait outside. Very good. Across the street. We're good. We leave. We get 3 blocks away, and they call us back. Because now he assaulted, air quotes, his supervisor, who's really upset. And she wants to file charges. So we spin back around. Now this time, I pull up first, and Jim pulls up second. We go inside. We talk to the woman whose feelings were hurt because he used harsh language.
Did he call her a bitch?
Probably. Yeah. But nowhere in his statements to her was a crime committed. Just her feelings were hurt. So we deal with that, and we come back out. And, there's a whole bunch of employees watching us because that's what they do. They're on smoke breaks or whatever, and the cops are there, so they're watching us. And I walk out the steps, and Jim walks out, and I go to my car, and Jim goes to his car. We open the doors, we get in our squads, and at the same exact time, I look down at my control board, and I'm like, that's not my fucking coffee mug. Why is my seat up so fucking high? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in the wrong squad.
Got in the wrong car.
We both get out at the same time. Don't say a word to each other. Walk past each other. Get in the car.
Did you high five?
And drive away. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Yeah, it was. I wonder what we looked like. A bunch of idiots to the guys that were sitting outside watching us, But I'm like, oh, we're off to a good start. I was laughing my ass off. Same thing. He got in the car. He's like, he pushed his button, but I had obviously pushed my button at the same time. So the timing was like, it'll never happen again. But we both get in the car at the same time and go, what the fuck? So,
wait, you guys have key fobs for your cars?
Most of the new ones do. Yeah, I've been assigned a car that doesn't, and it fucking pisses me off when I unlock the door with my key, and then I go to the passenger side to put my gear in, and I grab the handle and it fucking snaps back because it's not unlocked. I hate it. But yes, the new squads have key fobs.
Man, you guys are spoiled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's our high-tech.
We're
equipment.
lucky if we have cars that run.
There you go.
Check engine light comes on. I ain't writing that up.
You have to.
No,
so it gets fixed.
Don't. If I write it up, I lose my car.
Yeah, they take it out of service.
Yeah.
You've got like 45 squads in your division alone, don't you? I don't even know how many cars you guys have. I would imagine you have probably 1,500 fleet vehicles.
We have a lot of cars, but
yeah,
half of them don't work and the other half are all being used.
Yeah.
So
well, we have like 8
your car
squads
until you physically cannot drive it.
Yeah. I got beefed by one of my partners.
As any good partner should.
I come in, my buddy Neil's like senior officer for the day because the sergeant was off. And my buddy Vince was in there. Vince is who I'm building the cabinet for. And we're talking, and then Neil goes, "You've been on our shift one day and you already got a beef." I'm like, who fucking beefed me? I don't remember someone coming in to beef me. I said, I haven't even spoken to a citizen yet today. And he goes, it wasn't a citizen. And he goes like this. Looks over at Vince. Vince is on his phone.
Slow turn.
Yeah. And I go, I got beefed on by Vince? What? So we went to a call.
Oh, so getting beefed on means different things.
I didn't get beef stewed or someone.
I thought somebody busted ass in front of you.
No. Someone complained about me, right? I got beefed. Got
Okay.
a complaint against
Okay. So
against me.
someone has beef with you.
Yeah, someone filed a complaint against me. Air quote file.
Has aired a grievance.
Yeah. So Vince and I went on a call. Now, when we get assigned a call, they'll say Brandon and Mike. First officer, it's your call.
Primary. Yeah,
Right?
your primary.
Okay, so I pull up first, and it was just a civil bullshit towing complaint bullshit call. I pull up first, and here come the complainant and the driver that brought him there up to me, and they start yapping. I don't want to hear the story because I'm not doing paper on it. Neither is Vince because it's going to be a civil matter, but still, save your breath, right? So Vince, he's coming from the opposite direction. He's walking up to me. I'm already in a dialogue with them, and I go, no, tell him. Because I don't want them to waste my time or their own time, actually, telling me a whole story.
You shouldn't have gotten there first.
You get there when you get there. So
no, you can game it.
Yeah. I go, I could have listened to the whole story and go, okay. And then looked at Vince and goes, and then tell him the story. And then I look at them and I go, okay, now tell him the rest of the story. I mean, why even do that? Just hold it 1 second. It's like 1 second, literally. It'll take him 1 minute to get here. So he took offense to that.
I'm on Vince's side.
Yeah, well,
if
our shift is split.
If it's my call and you're going to get there first and you're going to get out and you're going to start engaging with people, congratulations. You have indicated to me that you would like to take this call.
Yeah, that's not how it works because they started engaging with me and I said, wait.
Did you have to land first? Could you have waited down the street or around a corner?
Because you don't know if it's going to be no, you can't do that, Brandon, because if it turns into a disturbance, you have to be there. Right?
Yeah, if it turns into a disturbance, then you go around the corner and you go, all right, knock the shit off.
So I go,
or if you already know it's a civil issue, just tell them, hey, shut up. It's a civil issue.
Well, we can't.
You don't like it.
We don't talk to the same people. The people the same.
Okay, sorry.
On nights.
I'm very sorry that you're frustrated in this. Right. However, there has been no crime. There's been no crime.
All right.
No crime at all.
And let me tell you
what you're going to have to do is you're going to need to civilly go after this person and sue them in civil court. At which point I can't help you with. If you would like the event number for me coming out here today, I can provide you with that.
Yeah, well, that's where that happens, and I do that a lot, and I got a feeling.
So you don't got to tell them to tell Vince. You just handle it.
This is my first day. No, Vince is
and then you tell him to fuck off.
Yeah,
politely.
I won't make that mistake again. But Oliver goes, "I'm on your side, dude. I don't want to have them repeat their whole story." And I'm like, "I'll show up first and take everyone's paper. I don't care. I'm there to work." This was the very first time I'm working with Vince because when he was on 3 years, he was a 30-year veteran already. Didn't want to hear anything. Didn't want to do anything. Yeah. So we start talking about it in the squad room, and I'm like, dude, okay, so that's what you want to do? Because I'll tell you what happens. What's been happening on my shift, my other shift, my night shift. They don't want me on their calls anymore. So if we get to that point, you're not going to like that part of me. So I'll show up. I'll take your paper. I'll even do that stuff. But I don't want people repeating themselves. Well, we can get them out of there faster. So maybe next time I just wait in the car, or next time I don't even show up until you call me. I need help. Hurry up! They're pounding on me. I'll be right there. I'm right around the corner.
Do the mapping systems on your guys'
Stop. Stop.
Oh, okay.
Mapping system
in your MDT, you don't have a map of your city that shows you where calls are.
No, our town is small, dude.
Even small towns have it.
And we don't have we don't have radars or GPSs in our cars either.
Okay, so you can't see where other guys are.
No, have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see, we can see that.
Sure.
So I can also, if it's something like this, like a BS call, if it sounds like it's an in progress, it's going to go sideways real quick. Yeah, by all means, go. But if it's like, no, dude, this is a stupid thing.
Right.
You can sit there. I can wait until I see him.
You see the dot. Yeah, right.
And I go, okay, now we're going. Because you know what? He might be trying to call people to be like, hey, see if you can handle it over the phone or whatever. And we run into this issue with rookies where they show up and they start the whole thing and somebody that is more seasoned can squash it without any paper needing to be taken. And then you get a young rookie officer out there who doesn't know his elbow from his asshole. and
Right.
he's turned it into like the crime of the
Right.
century.
Exactly.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, this is what I got. I mean, it's your beat." And then you look at him and go, "No.
Right.
You caused this. This is now your problem."
My lieutenant, or his commander now in charge of investigations, when he was a patrolman on my shift, I swear to, I don't know if you ever saw the movie with Bette Midler and George Carlin and Shelley Long, Outrageous Fortune.
No.
There's a scene where George Carlin hates Bette Midler and Shelley Long because every time they show up near him, his world goes to shit. And that was Jimmy. Anytime Jimmy would come on my call, the whole shit show would show up, and I would start doing. I would give him the cross, wave him off, whatever I could do not to have him step out of his squad car on my calls. He was the shit stirrer. And then he would create a storm and then get in his car and drive away. And you'd be arresting people and fighting people, and Jimmy started it all and he left. So I don't want to be that guy. So this is a new balance. I know Vince has been retired on duty for 7 out of the 10 years he's been on the street. But so that was fun. But it was great being back in patrol. I'm enjoying my time on days, and I had range day Wednesday, and it was training on an off day, and I get there, and the chief's there, and the deputy chief's there. And the first thing I said to them as they're walking out, I'm like, "You guys got me for 4 more years," because I decided to stay for 4 years. And my deputy chief goes, "Yay!" And then the chief goes, "Oh, good. You're taking the sergeant's test that's coming up, right?" And he winks at me, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, I am." But that's I think in the summer. But then I get home after having that conversation, telling them that I'm going to be there for 4 years, and I get a text message from my friend who's a police officer at the last department I worked at, and her husband works at this city I live in. Remember I told you I had put in for the evidence guy?
Yeah.
Well, apparently they had 185 applicants, and they're interviewing 13, and I'm one of them. So at some point they're going to call me for an interview. But just the ironic timing that after I told the chief I'd be here for 4 years, I'm going to be going to an interview for a job. So, and I'm not putting in for any more jobs.
So you're reconsidering that 4 years.
Well, I have to listen after if I pass the interview. But talking to a couple of the guys at work, I'm like, I got 8 weeks off of vacation and personal days. You work 110 days a year, whatever the hell it is, to go to work every day for 5 days a week and not have any vacation. It doesn't sound very appetizing to me.
Yeah.
Especially since now I'm on the shift I want to be on, right? So, we had some cartel human trafficking pros robbed. That was fun.
Huh.
Yeah, and one of them was smoking hot from
That
Venezuela.
happens.
Yeah, so her and her sister were working. This is a while ago, so the case has been disposed. They're working opposite hotels, so they're cartel hookers, and they decide to branch off on their own, if you will.
You shouldn't do that.
They found out that they shouldn't do that because a group of
Are you telling
cartel
me that
people
they fucked around and
and
they found out at an appropriate level?
I am, yeah, and they got the snot kicked out of them by the enforcers, and then they went back to Miami.
Good.
Yeah, where they belong. But that was interesting too. One girl, the desk guy took the call because there was a noise complaint. So he's by himself. It's on overnights. He's going to go up there. He takes his phone. He starts recording stuff while he's walking.
I mean, getting the shit kicked out of you
Makes
tends
some
to get
noise.
loud.
Yeah. And so he's filming with his phone as he's going up to the room. And then his phone caught some interesting stuff when she opened the door, which was very nice.
I mean, I'm sure there was evidentiary value in that video. So
There might be. I don't know.
a ton of evidentiary value.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take that from you. Here's a thumb drive. Put that right on here.
You just put that on there.
Hook that up to your phone. All right. That's it, man. Fun stuff, getting used to being back on days. And not wanting my partners to be on calls with me, apparently. So it's been a while. We're going to do the Officer Down Memorial page. And the one that hits home for me is a Chicago officer who was murdered when he went on a domestic call. So I'll read that one because it's here. And I've watched his funeral and everything else. So we'll mention the other ones. And then Brandon's going to name off, we've had 5 dogs that passed away as well during that same time, fortunately. So we will start with Fountain Police Department, Colorado. And I might have said this one last week, but I don't think I did 2 weeks ago. Police Officer Julian Becerra succumbed to injuries sustained 9 days earlier when he fell from an overpass in Colorado Springs. This does sound familiar. Yes, we did talk about this.
We talked about the fall.
Yeah, about the fall. We were wondering how that could happen. So, Washington State Department of Corrections in Washington, Correctional Officer Jay Miller. His end of watch was Saturday, February 11th, 2023. Correctional Officer Jay Miller died from complications from COVID. He was 52 years old, and he served with the Washington State Department of Corrections for 31 years, survived by his 3 sons. Kansas City Police Department in Missouri, Police Officer James Mulbauer, whose end of watch was Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. Police Officer Jim Mulbauer and K9 Champ killed in a vehicle crash at 10:15 p.m. The vehicle was traveling at 89 miles an hour, ran a red light, and crashed into Officer Mulbauer and K9 Champ while in their patrol vehicle. The impact caused the squad car to roll over. A pedestrian was also hit. K9 Champ and the pedestrian died at the scene. Officer Mulbauer was taken to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The 18-year-old driver that hit the police car was also injured and taken into custody pending an investigation. Officer Mulbauer had served with the Kansas City Police Department for 20 years. Don't have his age. He is survived by his wife and his child. Temple University Police Department in Pennsylvania. Sergeant Christopher D. Fitzgerald, end of watch, Saturday, February 18th, 2023. Sergeant Chris Fitzgerald was shot and killed while struggling with a suspect near 1700 West Montgomery Street in Philadelphia at about 7:30 p.m. Sergeant Fitzgerald was patrolling the area when he saw 3 masked individuals in dark clothing standing in an area where several robberies had recently occurred. As he exited his patrol car to speak with them, all 3 fled on foot, pursued one of the subjects, and began to struggle with him in the 1700 block of West Montgomery Street. The man produced a handgun and shot Sergeant Fitzgerald multiple times. The subject then attempted to steal Sergeant Fitzgerald's duty weapon, belongings, and patrol car before carjacking a citizen several blocks away. Sergeant Fitzgerald was transported to Temple University Hospital where he succumbed to his wounds. The shitbag who shot him was arrested at his home in Bucks County early the next morning. He was charged with the murder of a law enforcement officer, robbery, carjacking, and several other offenses. Sergeant Fitzgerald had served with the Temple University Police Department for 16 months and previously served at the Philadelphia County Sheriff's Office for 2.5 years. He also served with the Sugar Land Police Department in Texas and as a Lehigh County Corrections Officer. He is survived by his wife, 4 children, mother, father, sister, and brother, who is 31 years old. Memphis Police Officer Jeffrey Redd, end of watch was Saturday, February 18th, 2023. Police Officer Jeffrey Redd succumbed to gunshot wounds sustained 2 weeks earlier while responding to a suspicious person call at a library. Officers, including Officer Redd, had responded to a nearby business regarding a trespasser. 30 minutes later, became engaged in an altercation with the citizen inside of the library. As Officer Redd and another officer attempted to contact the subject outside of the library, the man produced a handgun and opened fire on them. Officer Redd was 49 years old and had served 15 years and was a military veteran in the Marines. Survived by his wife, 3 daughters, and 4 grandchildren. Pontotoc County Sheriff's Office in Oklahoma. Detention Officer Kenneth Fowler. End of watch was Sunday, February 19th, 2023. Detention Officer Kenneth Fowler succumbed to injuries sustained on January 31st, 23, when he slipped on ice in the parking lot of the County Justice Center. They were experiencing an ice storm when he fell. He had served with the Phoenix County Sheriff's Office for 5 years. Survived by his wife, daughter, mother, brother, sister, and 2 grandchildren. He was 52 years old. Chicago Police Department. Police Officer Andres M. Vasquez Lasso. End of watch was Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. Police Officer Andres Vasquez Lasso was shot and killed while responding to a domestic incident at 4:45 p.m. South Spalding Avenue in Gage Park neighborhood in Chicago. Officers were responding to a call about a man chasing a woman down the street with a gun. One group of officers went to the residence while other officers located the subject on foot. They were able to engage with the subject, but he fled from the officers. Shots were exchanged as Officer Vasquez Lasso pursued the subject, and both were wounded. Officer Vasquez Lasso was transported to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he succumbed to his wounds. The subject was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Unfortunately, he's still alive. Officer Vasquez Lasso had served with the Chicago Police Department for 5 years and was assigned to the 8th District. He survived by his wife, mother, sister. He's 32 years old. Indiana State Police, Indiana, Master Trooper James R. Bailey. End of watch was Friday, March 3rd, 2023. Master Trooper James Bailey was struck and killed by a fleeing vehicle on I-69 south of Auburn while attempting to deploy spike strips at about 4:30 p.m. Trooper Bailey was performing traffic control duties as a result of several crashes on the interstate when he was notified of a vehicle pursuit involving the Fort Wayne Police Department. The pursuit entered on I-69 toward Trooper Bailey's location. The fleeing vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed and struck Trooper Bailey as he attempted to deploy spike strips near mile marker 326. He was transported to a nearby hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The driver who struck him was arrested and charged with murder, felony resisting law enforcement, felony operating with a controlled substance resulting in death, and misdemeanor resisting law enforcement. Trooper Bailey had served with the Indiana State Police for 15 and a half years. He is survived by his wife, son, and daughter, and he was 50 years old. Brandon will have the dogs for you.
All right. So for the canines, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So due to the number of them, I'm going to only read the description for one because it's from where I grew up. And man, that music is loud. You have Canine Graffett from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in Colorado. The cause of death was gunfire, and he had been a police canine for 7 years and 6 months. Canine Freddy from the United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs, and Border Protection. His cause of death was a duty-related illness, and he had been a police canine for 5 years. Canine Champ from the Kansas City Police Department in Missouri. was killed in an automobile crash after being a police canine for 1 year. And then Canine Duke from the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office here in California. Canine Duke was stabbed to death while attempting to apprehend a burglary suspect in a rail yard in Tracy, California. Officers with the Tracy Police Department had responded to a burglary at the rail yard at about 12 p.m. As officers arrived on scene, 2 men fled from the officers into the train yard. When Canine Duke arrived at the scene, one of the men entered the engine room on one of the trains in the yard and barricaded himself inside. Officers and deputies were able to create an opening to the engine room, and Canine Duke was released for an apprehension. As he engaged the suspect, the man stabbed him multiple times. Officers were able to take the man into custody after he stabbed Canine Duke. Canine Duke was taken to Central Valley Veterinarian Hospital in Manteca, where he succumbed to his injuries. Canine Duke had served with the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office for 6 years. And Canine Lennon from the Baytown Police Department in Texas. His cause of death says animal related. He was bitten by a venomous snake, and he had been a police canine for 7 months.
Snakes.
They'll get you.
As long as they're not on my plane when I fly down to Alabama next month.
Yeah, you get real tired of those snakes on the plane.
You know, I never saw that movie.
Me either.
But I have to one day because I hear good things about it. Like, you know, as good as a movie about snakes on a plane can be. All right, man. That wraps up on a down note. Episode 61. The Roger Maris episode. Is that what we're going to name it? Or we're
I don't know. You said that people don't like the sports themed titles. I'm still going to come up with them.
Of course, yeah. 61 to me and you that's Roger Maris.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we talked about. If we can pull a title out of what we were talking about.
Hulk Hogan versus Megan Fox.
There you go. Okay, that's it right there. Done. Don't forget, send us your feedback on that survey poll question. Please.
Handcuffs&sawdustpodcast at gmail.com. Also, if you have questions, you can record a voice memo or just type out your question and send it to handcuffs&sawdustpodcast at gmail.com. And don't forget, promo code BOOK'em at SurfPrepSanding.com gets you 10% off.
Go get that stuff right now.
Go get a sander. Go get some more sandpaper or even maybe a vacuum.
Right.
Or the detail light.
All that stuff.
Get it.
10% off.
Load up the cart.
Let's go.
Then you can tell your wife, look at how much money I saved you.
That's right. She goes, well, if you didn't spend it, you wouldn't have saved us.
No, fair is fair. She gets to tell, if wives get to tell husbands, look at all the money I saved. You didn't have to buy the damn thing, but it was 10% off. Guys, you can do the same thing. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself, which I didn't know was a thing until I watched Parks and Recreation.
It's 100% a thing.
Love it. Yeah, now it is. I'm going to treat myself.
Treat yourself.
I'm going to go treat myself to some lunch and then a workout and then right back down here to do podcast stuff.
I'm going to go break my back.
Good. Better yours than mine.
I'm just going to go work.
All right, get to work, would you? All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. That's all I got for you. We appreciate it. See you guys next week. Be safe in the street and in the shop.
Okay, bye.
Peace.